2006, an unexpected war erupts between Israel and Hezbollah. 15,000 Americans are trapped in Lebanon. U.S. Marines come to the rescue, but they need a nearby neutral destination to deposit the frightened American refugees. The island Republic of Cyprus, just 60 miles off the Lebanese coast, is the obvious answer. The Republic of Cyprus opens its arms to its American friends.
And the Cypriot government very quickly arranged accommodations for 15,000 people in 1 week. They put them up until they could get on their way back to the United States or to other parts of the world. So we were enormously grateful to the Cypriot government for what they did in a real crisis, in an hour of need, our need. They came through. They showed that they were good friends, and we won't forget that.
But past U.S. policy towards Cyprus demonstrates otherwise. In a recently declassified 1974 State Department memorandum, Secretary of State Henry Kissinger stated, "There is no American reason why the Turks should not have 1/3 of Cyprus." Summer 1974. Turkish forces invade with U.S.-supplied arms and occupy 1/3 of Cyprus.
4 minutes past 6, and the first of the Turkish troops have landed in Cyprus. About 5 of these aircraft passed over in the last 5 minutes. They were guided in by jet fighters, and the very first paratroopers are now hitting Cyprus soil. Ileriye!
According to the findings and judgment of the European Court of Human Rights of the Council of Europe, a substantial number of Greek Cypriot civilians were killed. Archbishop Makarios, president of Cyprus in 1974, listed the dead.
Ο αριθμός των θυμάτων ανέρχεται σε 6.500 περίπου. 3.500 είναι οι φωνευθέντες και 3.000 είναι οι αγνοούμενοι. Και από τους αγνοουμένους είναι ζήτημα αν επιζούν ολίγοι.
170,000 are forced from their homes and businesses.
Το σπίτι μας είναι στην Κερίνια, μένουμε στην Κερίνια. Όταν έγινε η εισβολή, μείναμε στο σπίτι μας 4 μέρες, αλλά αναγκαστήκαμε να πάμε στο ξενοδοχείο Ντόουμ, όπου βρήκαμε άλλα 800 πρόσωπα. Εκεί μείναμε εγκλωβισμένοι, κλειστοί όλη μέρα και δεν μπορούσαμε να βγούμε έξω.
Turkish troops take over the northern third of the island and continue to occupy that region to this day. Many observers believe the United States had the knowledge and power to prevent the Turkish invasion and later to compel Turkey to withdraw its troops. But the U.S. did neither of those things.
It was a clear violation of the rule of law. It was an aggression. It was a trampling on human rights. It was wiping out, democratic values.
The United States should have exerted more pressure on Europe, the members of the European Union, to act, to put pressure on Turkey.
Why did the United States fail to act? The answer lies in a tangled web of U.S. domestic politics, the realpolitik of Henry Kissinger, and the repeated refusal of successive U.S. presidents to demand that the rule of law and fundamental human rights be upheld in Cyprus. While U.S. politicians evaded the issue, Cyprus suffered.
Δεν ξέρω που είναι. Είναι αγνοούμενος. Γεια μου, παιδιά μου, αγώνεις τώρα γίνεις την απανάτα, γεια μου, παιδιά μου. Άιστε με να πάω. Μα εγώ βγάστηκα γρήγορες μου βούτανε το εδώ.
Πιάσαμε ανάκριση και μετά την ανάκριση πήραμε και κοιμήθηκα. Ήταν και ξυπνήσαμε η ώρα 10.30. Και ανταγώσαμε μου ξύλων και μας χειρώσαμε στο πλευρό τα χαμέ.
Μήπως είδατε το γιο μου?
Μα δεν έχουμε καθόλου πληροφορίες γιατί είναι αγνώμη.
Αυτό είναι περισσότερο από ό,τι έρχεται.
Modern Cyprus remains a divided island. Its capital, Nicosia, a divided city.
We landed at the airport in Nicosia. It was around 10 o'clock in the evening, at night. My father-in-law came and picked us up from the airport, and we drove through the Greek Cypriot part of Nicosia. It was a beautiful city, lights everywhere, people going around, bars open, cafes, and I thought, God, it's beautiful. And then we came to the checkpoint where the two sides were separated. And when we crossed over to the Turkish Cypriot side, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was dark. It was like suddenly, in a matter of seconds, from a lighting area, you just moved into a dark area. No cars, no people, nothing moving. I mean, it was like a place, a derelict place.
The economy of the Turkish-controlled north has stagnated, while the economy of the Republic of Cyprus has thrived. Tourists from around the world flock to the lush beaches of Limassol, to the urbane shops and cafes of Nicosia, to the wondrous ruins of the ancient city of Kourion.
There is a magic in the air in Cyprus. There's some pull to the Cypriot earth. There's a presence of a huge storehouse of the common treasury of civilization involved there.
The mythical birthplace of Aphrodite and Adonis, Cyprus was first settled by mainland Greeks in 1600 BC, thus establishing the island's predominantly Greek character, which has been maintained to this day. The Turkish Cypriot minority descends from the Ottomans, who invaded Cyprus in the late 16th century. As 19th century nationalism cascaded over the decaying Ottoman Empire, the Greeks of Cyprus expected to be united with Greece, which had become a modern state in 1830. Instead, the Ottoman Emperor handed Cyprus over to Great Britain.
With the Turkish Cypriots, we have lived for over 400 years. And, only a very small fraction of that period, from 1571 until today, was a period of, let's say, friction.
After the Second World War, a movement to unite with Greece, known as Enosis, swept over Cyprus. By the 1950s, this movement erupted into armed conflict between Greek Cypriots and British colonial forces. Seeking help in the struggle, the British created allies within the Turkish Cypriot minority by exploiting their concern about Enosis. Centuries of peaceful coexistence collapsed as Turkish Cypriots battled against Greek Cypriots. The Turks now demanded partition of the island to protect their rights. The shooting ended in 1959 with the signing of the London-Zurich Agreement, which granted Cyprus a form of independence from Great Britain in 1960. The basic terms of the Constitution excluded partition and enosis. Archbishop Makarios, who led the Greek Cypriots through the 1950s, was elected the first president. The Turkish Cypriot leader, Dr. Fazil Küçük, was elected the vice president. The Turkish Cypriot minority was given considerable veto and administrative power. Great Britain, Greece, and Turkey guaranteed this independence and governing structure. Although fighting had ceased, animosities continued to simmer.
Η ένωση της Κύπρου με την Ελλάδα ήταν ανέκαθεν ο εθνικός πόθος των Ελλήνων Κυπρίων. Ένας πόθος βαθιά ριζωμένος μέσα τους. Και εγώ πολλές φορές μίλησα για την ένωση ύστερα από τις συμφωνίες Ζερίχης, διερμηνεύοντας ακριβώς αυτό τον πόθο. Τόνιζα όμως πάντοτε πως το ευκταίον δεν είναι πάντοτε εφικτόν και ότι η ένωση δεν πραγματοποιείται εφόσον αντιτίθεται προς τούτο η Τουρκία.